Said I'm live, baby, baby. Been a little minute since I came on here with y'all, man. A little minute, all right. Oh, okay, okay. The This video is titled "The Burden of Being Chosen," and a lot of people might not get that. A lot of people might not quite understand that, what that means just yet. But if you pray to the universe, pray to Creator God, the eternal source and center. You know, we start revealing things to you. You know, it's a such thing as earthly wisdom, and then it's something called godly or spiritual wisdom. Excuse me. Earthly wisdom is what you get from man. Is what you learn from man's knowledge, his limited knowledge. And then you got the cosmos, you got the universal uh, wisdom, which is, uh, eternal. It's far greater than man's wisdom. You know, godly wisdom is far greater than man's wisdom. So, certain things you have to pray and meditate to gain insight, to gain godly insight, because man don't have the capacity to know that. But by us being part spiritual beings in a physical body, we spiritual beings in a physical body. So by us being right now in this physical body, by us being one half physical and one half spirit, we still have the ability to connect to the spirit realm and to the astral plane and to God, basically. Uh, but we have to align ourselves with uh, his energy, with the universal energy. Uh, we have to align ourselves with it so that it could enter in and tap. We can tap into it. But the burden of being chosen. This is my personal experience and take on it. It's a burden. And like I said, a lot of y'all won't get it, but over time you get it if you pray, meditate. Uh, no, I didn't uh, choose the wrong word. I didn't uh, mispronounce a word. It is a burden because once you become chosen by God in the universe, uh, it affects your life here on earth right now. Yes, it affects your life in the here and now. Because again, you part human, physical, and then you part spiritual. When you chosen, it's all dealing with that spiritual man, that inner man, not that physical, fleshly man. It's dealing with the spiritual man. And we are in a spiritual warfare. When you hear people say spiritual warfare, spiritual battles, those things are 100% true. We are in a spiritual war. And it's hard to understand that and take it seriously because we're in a physical body. So everything that happens in this 3D dimension, this 3D existence, we we look at it as purely uh, human. We look at it as excuse me. We look at it as uh, purely physical. We don't see the energies working behind the scenes. You see what I'm saying? Everything we do, every action we take is there's a non-physical or spiritual force behind it. Our thoughts, uh, you know, um, can come and do come oftentimes from the spirit astral plane. Bottom line is spirits out here. You got good ones, you got evil ones. Um, and there's countless of them out in the universe. But we are the black man and woman or God's prized possession. We have melanin. We infuse with melanin. That's where we get our brown eyes from. You know what I'm saying? Our brown, dark skin, it's melanin. These white scientists and stuff know that. You know. So I'm trying to stay on point here, but it's definitely a burden once you realize what's happening. It's hard. It's hard when you don't understand. But once you start understanding it, like I said, you start getting insight, godly wisdom on it. Then you start seeing it clearer, more clearer. You start seeing it more clearer. Uh, so I am chosen. There are a whole lot of chosen people. I'm not the only. Excuse me. I'm not the only chosen being. I'm not saying that. It's a lot of chosen people, and they probably experience this same thing. Even if you don't know what's going on, you still experience the attacks. But you call it something else because you don't understand what you are yet. And these spirits understand that. These low energy, low frequency spirits uh, who are out to stop your calling, which they can't unless you allow them. But they don't have the power to. They can only uh, influence you or mentally abuse you to the point where you uh, don't speak the power, don't utilize your power and the weapons you have uh, against them. You got to learn how to fight. You can't fight spirits these. With these, you got to learn how to fight spiritual warfare. I could have named it that, but this is very appropriate. The burden of being chosen, because this is my personal experience. Uh, I always knew it was something different about me coming up, and I know you hear a whole lot of people saying that, who believe they're chosen, but it's in my case, it's true, and I believe those others when they say that too. If you are truly chosen, you knew you go back in your over your life, even from a child, even from childhood, and you can say you can go back and think, man, it was something different about me. Other kids used to, either like me or everybody used to flock to me, or the opposite. There wasn't no in between. You either loved or hated. And age, human physical age, ain't got nothing to do with spiritual warfare. And I had to find this out and realize that. Because in the spirit realm, the angelic realm, you want to call it, you know, in that realm, the guardians and watchers over our souls and over this plane right here we call Earth, they know who we are. We don't know who we are in the spiritual realm, but they do. The good one, the evil ones, and the ones of light, the righteous ones. They know who we are. So they're here to guide us. We got spirits that guide us, to help us. Some call them archangels, some call them guardians, guardian angels, some call them watchers. Like I said, it's trillions upon trillions upon trillions of these spiritual beings in the universe, and they all have assignments to watch over mankind, over humanity, the souls of humanity, not our physical. I mean, they still get involved in our physical world for the government and stuff like that. That's going to have a bearing on uh, the events of Earth, the earthly events that happens on Earth. They get involved in that too from time to time. As I'm making this video, y'all heard the phone. Y'all heard the phone make a notification sound. Y'all heard the phone make a notification sound. And y'all see the triple fives. And y'all see the triple fives right there. That's an angel number. That is an angel number. So that means that as I'm making this video, my angel, as I was talking about them, and just as I was speaking about them, they just let y'all know they real. They just confirm that what I'm saying is real. That's how angels send messages. You seen it right there with your own eyes. You heard it. At 5:55, my phone made a notification. I don't have no alarm set for 5:55. I don't have no kind of nothing, no alarms or anything set to go off at 5:55. That was a random notification. Well, we know it wasn't random, it was the spirits, but the phone, it was, in other words, there wasn't no reason for that phone to go off at that time other than for us to see, for me to see that 555. That's how the spirit world, that's how the angels communicate. Perfect example. Undisputable evidence right there. So they are real. The spirit realm is more real than this one. And that's what they want to get us to understand. That's what they keep trying to get us to understand. Like, even though you don't know who you are right now, you forgot who you are in the spirit realm. We here to let you know, to guide you and to keep you on course until you get back to your spiritual self, will become one again with your spirit. Earth, they say, is just a testing ground. They say we chose to come here. They say we chose our assignments, the family we was going to be born into, the occupations we was going to have, our path in life, whether it be one of struggle and one of turmoil to help humanity, or one of loftiness and but you don't get no points. You don't earn anything. You don't graduate to no level if you don't struggle. Knowledge and wisdom comes from struggle, from storms. You have to figure things out. When everything is perfect and lined up for you, I'm not saying you can't learn, if you have a good life, but the best way to become a teacher is to first be a student. The best teachers in the world were first the best students. You got to be a good student before you can be a good teacher. Because how you gonna teach me something if you ain't never went through nothing? You see what I'm saying? There's substance in struggling. There's you gain wisdom and substance when you uh, have to battle and figure things out and go through trials and tests. That's what builds the character. Same way in the spirit, in the physical world. Trials and tribulations build character. It does the same in the spirit realm. And the thing is, although spirits are stronger and more perfect than we are, here, when we in this body going through this experience, we can't our spirits can't uh our spirits are subject to the elements, subject to the realm we in. So basically our spirits are trapped inside of this earthly vessel, and we have to push. We have to learn and grow and evolve. And our guides and watchers and angels and things, as you just seen, they are here to encourage us and help us remember. They give us little bits of information, little bits of remembrance. Like, and then you sit down sometime and you be like, man, I just had this thought. And I was somewhere doing something. This strange dream. No, those are hints from your spirit guides that this is probably what you were in before you came to Earth. This is probably something you was involved in a past life where you chose to come, to Earth, and or you chose to go to another planet and help that civilization. You see what I'm saying? I know it sound like something out of a sci-fi movie or some kind of spiritual book or some kind of a cult stuff, but no, it's real. It's real. Uh, so the burden, it's a burden, not in a bad way. It's a burden in the sense that it could get heavy. It could weigh heavy on you mentally. It could weigh heavy on psychic, your psyche, because you're still trying to see. The thing is, you're struggling between your humanity and your spirituality. And since you can't see your spirit, when I look in the mirror, I don't see my spirit. I see my physical form. But my spirit is inside of me, and it is just as real as my physical form, but I can't see it. So I don't I don't so that's the struggle. Trying to understand your spiritual man, your spirit man, while dealing with the elements of this 3D realm that are, that you can touch, taste, smell. You see what I'm saying? Those senses, the spirit is not subject to those. The spirit man is not subject to your five senses. It's not contained by your five senses. It's beyond your five senses. Spirit world doesn't have to or not subject to your five senses, but your physical man is. So that's the constant struggle of trying to dig through and dissect through those all your five senses and get to the spirit man, the reality of him. That's the struggle. But I'm gonna get to the deliberate, to my personal uh, discoveries and revelations. Um, because ever since I was young, I've noticed something was different about me. You know, even before I understood what was going on, and I've did a lot of study in the spirit. The spirits have led me to a lot of knowledge and information about the spirit world. And see, whatever you hunger and thirst after, it will be given to you. That knowledge, that information will be, you will be led to that, whether good or bad. That's how the universe works. And I've always thirsted in knowledge and hungered after knowledge and wisdom, earthly and spiritual, but more so spiritual because that's the goal. That's the goal we're trying to reach. So I knew something was different. I was coming up, and I struggled with it from time to time, trying to see what it was. And let me say that just because you chose it don't mean that God, the Creator, doesn't love His other creations, your brothers and sisters who might not be chosen. That don't mean because you're chosen, God loves you more. It just simply means He's chosen you to do a greater work. You know what I mean? He just chose you to do a specific assignment, a certain thing for uh, His glory, for His kingdom, for His uh, ultimate goal, and that is for us to become like Him. The ultimate goal of every soul is to become like the Creator, like its Creator, uh, which is perfect. So yeah, he don't love you no less. He just, those of us who are chosen just have a certain assignment. We have specific assignments that He handpicked us to do, and or did we ourselves choose ourselves? Like I said, before we came to this planet, we there was discussion going on with us and our creators. Hey, do you want to do this? Because some spirits chose to stay, some souls chose to stay in the spirit realm. Some of them chose to live on other planets and do other activities. Which don't make them bad or unworthy. It's just you know, but there is great reward and wisdom to be gained and knowledge when you choose to do uh, things dealing with the evolution of a species. So, low energy. Remember that term, low energy, low frequency. These are spirit beings that uh, are not out for the good of your soul. They're enemies of your soul because things vibrate on frequencies. The higher the frequency, the closer you are to God, the closer you are to the angels, the closer you are to the spirit realm, the more powerful you are. The lower your frequencies, it's the exact opposite. The further away you are from the Creator, the further you're away from uh, perfection, and thereby it leaves you vulnerable uh, to not fulfilling God's plan for you. you know, uh, you'll have to do it over. You keep coming back till you get it right. People don't believe that either. I didn't believe none of this for years, but I was drawn to wisdom. Like I knew it was more to life than this physical body. I knew that as a kid, as a young person. It's more to it. The Creator gives us hints and certain things. Just like when you look up in the sky at night and see all them stars and constellations. You don't have to be spiritual to look up there and say, "Man, who put that there? How did that get up there?" Because coming from that's how God put a little bit of him, a piece of Himself in every human. We'll get to everybody ain't human. But how God put a piece of Himself into every soul is because that those questions are going to come from the Creator, and He'll place it in your spirit so that you can ask that question. You look up in the sky at night, you something is wrong if you don't become intrigued. If you don't say, "Man, how did they get there?" Because He made us in His image, and He gave all of us a little bit of His power. He put a little bit of His spirit, His own spirit in us. We are creators too. So down here on this earth, in this physical body, we have hands that we use to build things with. And we know that when we look out at like an artist, a literal painter, artist, he has a blank canvas staring in front of him. He's staring at in front of him with nothing on it. Then all of a sudden he starts to imagine. Excuse me. He starts to imagine a picture, something that's not there yet. Man, I love this example because it's so perfect. It's not on paper yet. He can't physically see it yet, but he see it in his mind. He see it in his spirit. So then he takes the brush and he starts mixing the colors, and then he starts that very thing that's in his mind. He starts putting it on the canvas, and then he see in his mind, okay, then I'm gonna go that way, that way. So he's literally taking from his mind the picture out of his head and putting it on paper, making it physical. He's creating a picture from out of his mind. He's creating it. He's the creator of it. So if we know that in this 3D realm we can build things with these our hands, then when we look up in the sky, after we stare and gaze up at them stars so long, after a while we're gonna say, they there because I see them. They real, they right there. But I didn't put them there. And I could see them with my own eyes that they real. Who? That's your next thought, your next question. If I see that they're real and I didn't put them there, then who put all those stars and those constellations there? That's the next logical question. Who put them there? See, that's that creative side of man, that creative side of our soul, our spirits that God put in us to ask that question. We are creators. So who created that? And whoever created that is big. You know what I'm saying? That's our next thing. It's like whoever put that up there is huge. You got to be a very, very big person or entity because I could never even go up that far to put them up there. And then you start realizing how each star is so hot and and it's this, and then it just opens up other things, and you realize how big they are, how far apart they are, and how many light years the universe is from this point to that point, and then you start discovering that you yourself, your very planet, is in a larger system of other planets called a solar system, and then you just keep going and going and going and going and going, and you say, "Oh look, who created that?" That's your first intro. The first class right there. Finding your creator. Seeking your creator. When you start having those experiences and asking those questions, that's finding God one on one. Learning about your spirituality. Because all those questions are going to lead to other questions. Then you made that. And then you realize, your mom and daddy, yeah, they created you, they made you, but your spirit, they didn't create. They just made the physical form from DNA and genes and natural things that happen when two humans procreate. But there's a spiritual side to that that's much deeper. Just like the analogy with the painter, and he thinks of something, he visualized something, then he puts it on paper. God visualized you in his mind before you came to earth, before your mom and daddy had you. God already created you. He had you created in his mind, and your soul was created. And your soul was created. And your soul was created from God's thoughts. So you his offspring, you his firstborn before your mom and daddy. You were created by God eons ago. Eons and eons ago. Billions of years ago. God created you in his mind. And so the journey began. Your soul journey began. The burden, because I can just get caught up in the magnificence of God and the Creator, and I just go into a a stupor of just amazement. I just become dumbfounded with amazement. Uh, that burden part. Remember when I said them low energies and low vibrations? And you have to keep yourself on a higher frequency and a higher vibration in order to get from the universe what it's trying to give you. See, that's the thing. When you're on a low frequency, low vibration, the universe can't get the frequency to you because y'all ain't connected. See what I'm saying? It's like cell phone towers. You did? I'm trying to call somebody, but the signal ain't connecting to the tower. So the person I'm trying to call ain't gonna get the call because the signal ain't connecting to the source. Okay. Okay. Sometimes I amazes myself how God speaks to me, how the Spirit flows to me. Because that's exactly what happens with us. When the universe is trying to send a signal to us from God, from our Creator, if that signal is not connecting with us because our bodies are towers and our frequency is so low, meaning Christian Bible, Christians like to call it sin. Other religions may call it this. All it is a low frequency, low vibration. You're not doing your creator's will. He didn't create you to just have you out here dormant, idle. He created you to create. He's a creator. That's what he is, a loving creator who wants all of his creation to enjoy him and enjoy and be a family and love and be on high vibrations. So we can communicate and we can bounce ideas off each other and create and further create. Low frequencies are nothing but wicked spirits or spirits who have failed from grace, spirits who are no longer walking in the path of light, and they have become the enemy of the Creator, and thus by becoming enemies of us, the created. When you're chosen, you're going to be under attack by these low frequencies, spirits, and entities. I ain't trying to scare you. I ain't talking about stuff happening in your house and stuff moving around by itself. I ain't talking about like that. You know, there are cases and situations where those things could happen depending on what you're tampering into. You know, that's why you have to be careful not to delve into certain things spiritually if you don't know what you're doing. If you're not trained and you ain't pray and meditate about these things, you gotta always pray and meditate about stuff before you just start jumping out of there into stuff. Try it if you want to, because for right now, I got these rounds I'm gonna just let off straight up. So uh yeah, so these low frequencies, they come to they energy vampires, and what they do is they try to steal your energy because they don't want you to accomplish what it is God has sent you here to do. And the higher your calling, the more they gonna come against you. Excuse me, but you have to always remember they have no power over you. You have power over them. But see what they do is they try to trick you into giving away your energy. That's what they want. They feed off of your energy. So they want to rob you of your energy because they don't have the ability to get it from the universe and to get it from God. They disconnect it from the creator. And that's the source of all life. Ain't no life independent of God. There is none. Don't be fooled by this flesh and this body thinking because your chest going in and out and your heart beating and you breathing that you living in life. You're existing. Without God, you're simply existing. And that's eventually going to work itself out. This body is deteriorating every day. Every day. Your body's getting older and older, weaker and weaker. So if you don't invest what's on the inside of that, your spirit, man, you ain't living. You're only alive. You only start living when you connect to the Creator. When you stay connected to the Creator, that's when you're living. The source and center, the first source and center. So I could be, and it's getting bold to the point where I could be in a grocery store, minding my business. Somebody walk down the aisle, don't want nothing down that aisle, and just mean mug and just try to aggravate me. That's why I say a lot of it's on us too. We have to keep ourselves at a high vibration so that we won't give that energy away. Because when we allow ourselves to that vibration to dip and that energy to dip, then we more on their realm because we not spiritually strong at those moments. You see what I'm saying? That joy and that peace, you know, is not. It's like when you got to put some gas in your vehicle. It ain't gonna drive. You be on E, it's just gonna run out of gas, and that vehicle ain't gonna move. It ain't gonna do what it was created to do. We the same way. Our souls were created to do something, so we got to keep them fed. You got to keep those uh, our spiritual selves fed. Man, that time beginning to wait on these videos, man, because I be having so much to say, and it don't even feel like I didn't really got to the point. But yeah, it's to the point now where I'm able to recognize who these. I can recognize them now because I was doing some studying, some research, and I just heard somebody say, you know, uh, they not looking, they don't see the body like we see it, a fleshly body. They see light or darkness. That's it. and they're trying to rob you of your light. They're trying to pull you down to that low density where they are. You see what I'm saying? They can't enter into the light no more. So they'll come to do stuff to throw you off your path and your journey. Little things, petty, cut you off in traffic for nothing. It's to the point now when I pull up to a four-way stop sign intersection, I just stop. I could be there first. I just stop and just let them go. Go ahead. Because y'all are there. If I have the right of way, if I go out in this traffic, y'all might run it and hit me. So just go ahead. And if one of them decent enough and be like, no, you go, thank you, and I go. But whenever I step out into society, it's like soon as I get outside, I can feel the swarm like they coming. And again, this ain't nothing to make you afraid. It's to make you aware of your calling, how important you are to humanity, and how important your assignment is. That these entities, these low frequency spiritual frequencies, they come and they hop into people. That's what the teacher was telling me. Say they don't see a body. They look down and and they see a vessel. They're trying to get inside of that vessel. They can't get in you, so they hop in a family member, a close friend, a classmate, or anybody around you who is on a low frequency. They gonna hop in them and try to attack you physically. You know what I'm saying? So that's why you have to remember to keep yourself around people who are on high vibrations, who are on high frequencies. Is that to say that every day of your life gonna be perfect and you're never gonna have an argument with this? No, you'll have disagreements with people, but it's one thing to have a disagreement with somebody, and another thing for somebody to come to try to harm you, to come and try to prohibit you from growing. We could have a disagreement about a book we read. You could have a disagreement about somebody, about a color of a shirt. That don't make it, you know. So I'm not saying that. I'm saying on the spiritual warfare level, you got to protect yourself, man. You got to protect yourself so that the Creator can reach you through the vibrations of the universe. We all electrical beings, man. I know this stuff is because when I first heard all this, man, I was the same way. I was like, man, this stuff too deep. I don't know. But you gotta understand, when you called and chosen, that knowledge is going to come to you. That wisdom is going to be revealed to you. So uh, we have to prepare ourselves once we become chosen to not compromise uh, our assignments and our spirituality for acceptance. You want people to accept you, and they never will because they're not in your destiny. They're not a part of your assignment. Once we start realizing how important our assignment really is and how real our assignments really are, we'll start looking at this thing a little more seriously. Start taking spirituality a little more seriously. You heard we here to do something. We're here to put on assignment. And these evil spirits, these low frequency, vibrational spirits know that, and they trying to stop it because you are hurting their agenda. See, they want to keep all of humanity on a low vibrational level, in fear, afraid. Universe can't reach you when you're operating on a low vibration. fear, panic, worry. That causes sickness in your body, man. Scientists and doctors have already proven that. It weakens your immune system when you're afraid. That's like this whole COVID, all this old COVID stuff. Man, that's just something to keep us afraid so that we can stay weak in our immune system and we can steadily be under attack. And they can control us like puppets. Come over here if you want to be safe. Come over here if you want to take this medicine. Let me shoot you with this. All trying to destroy you. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against spiritual wickedness in high places. But you don't have to worry about nothing because as long as the Creator is in you and y'all connected and you're on your assignment and you're doing His will, you protected. You got so many. It will literally make you cry when you realize how much protection you got in the spirit realm when you're doing the right thing for God. And even the ones who are not on their proper assignment, who have been victims of fear and violence and all this, they still love you too. And they're still trying to wake you up. They still trying to get you to wake up. They ain't forgot about none of us. They don't want to leave none of us behind. But there are mind blowing uh, numbers of, I don't even know if you can call it numbers because it precedes any number that our human mind can conceive. Out here in the spirit realm, watching out for you, looking out for you, protecting you for the Father, for the source and center. So I'm gonna do a follow up on this because I think it's extremely important. And like I say, I'm just getting into my specific calling. I'm just not getting it now. Getting into the full force of it, and I'm learning. So every day I'm trying to learn a little bit more and a little bit more. I'm trying to follow my heart, my passions, you know, because the biggest key, the biggest hint to what your calling is something you can't shake, you can't get away from. It's like you can try to put it out your head, you can try to forget about it, but you can't. It keeps coming back up, tapping you on the shoulder. You be like, oh, you again. You know what I'm saying? Like spirit like this, that's what you was sent her to do. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta do my job and make sure you do your job. You know what I mean? So I ain't going nowhere. Yeah, so I'm going to get into that, make another video about this. So peace, light, love, blessings, healing, prosperity to all those who may come across this video. Uh, never forsake your ability to communicate with your creator, with the universe. You have the ability to talk to the universe and to make your petition known to the universe. Anything you need, any help you might need, God is always willing. Your spiritual guides and ancestors, they always willing to help. That's their job, and they waiting for you to ask for their help. So don't take that for granted. Uh, that's a beautiful thing. It's one of our greatest blessings in all eternity on any level of life to be able to communicate with uh, your spirits, spirit guides, and helpers and angels, and ultimately the source and center. Okay, so y'all stay blessed and be not afraid of these times we're living in and stuff you're hearing on the news and the stuff you're seeing going on. That is right on course. It's actually right on course for the time in history that this earth is in right now. Big changes are coming, and it has to come. No more uh, waiting, no more putting things to the side and putting things off. And no, the time is now. The time is right now. So find your place in the spirit, and ask God to give you the strength and to send your spirit helpers and to watch over you and to teach you what you should be doing and open your eyes, open your spiritual eyes to what's going on. Uh, it's a beautiful thing. It's a journey, nevertheless, but the rewards are can't even imagine how great. So, uh, the greatest weapon of your enemy, of my enemies, your enemies, our enemies, is deception. Having you believe they don't exist. You can't fight an enemy that you can't see or don't believe is there. Get knowledge, get spiritual wisdom, get you some spiritual wisdom so you can know how to defend yourself and you can see these things coming when they start showing up. This ain't about this ain't the room I want to be in. This ain't the party I want to be a part of right now. You know. Uh so yeah, the hour is getting late. God got so much more for us to do in other lives, and we got a lot of work to do, a lot of beautiful things to accomplish. Uh, so this phase right here, this 3D, it's finna be over, man. We finna be going into the fifth dimension, and sadly, everybody not gonna make it because they not gonna be ready. They're not gonna be vibrating on a higher enough frequency. That's why these spiritual attacks are getting more rampant and more aggressive. Because that's the spirits trying to tell me, my archangels and my spirit guides trying to tell me, come on, we got this work to do. I ain't finna make it comfortable for you no more. Let's go. Let's go. Peace. Yeah.